If you have to treat a wound, which is a deep wound, which is a packable wound, like this one is here, I mean, if we sort of open up this wound, you can see there is a big hole inside there that we need to physically pack. Now, if we were just to put a bandage on the outside, all that's going to do is it will seal on the outside. So yes, you will get an element of bleeding control because we are forcing the pressure on the outside, but really inside there's a cavity. So we're just going to get liquid blood in there. So we do need to hit the bleeding at source. So by using WoundClot inside there, it's a haemostatic agent, and it's going to form that gel-like plug, which hitting at the source of the bleed is going to start to stop the bleed, but also promote the healing cascade. So hopefully we're going to get to a situation where we can stop the bleed faster and more effectively. Now, the advantage also with WoundClot is once you've packed the wound, it's very easy for the surgeons and doctors to remove that later on. It can be literally washed out with saline. So, it's a very easy product to fit, to install into the person, and then also to remove surgically afterwards, very simply. When we're using other products, they set absolutely solid. And while they'll be very effective because they've set like a brick inside there, they then have to be surgically cut out. So you're effectively cutting good tissue to remove the hemostat. If it's life-threatening, it's not a major problem, but what we want to try and do is make this whole process as effective in controlling the bleeding and also effective for longer term for the patient. With these products here, there's different sizes. It depends on what you've got in your kit. So what we're going to be using is the Z-fold gauze, the 8x100. If you don't have that, you can use the smaller sizes and identify the source of the bleed, put the WoundClot into the wound on the source of the bleed, then use another packing agent on top to actually hold that in place, and then put your dressing on the same way. But we'll run with this. So all I've done here is just taken some of the WoundClot out the packaging. This is just the training version. With these simulators here, these TrueClot simulators, they're actually designed so that this particular one, that you can feel bone fragments in there. And this is really important that to start with, you just push down on something, so you've got a double layer there. So what you don't want to be doing is pushing straight into the wound, and then you've got a bone fragment in there. That bone fragment then cuts your glove and effectively injects the person's blood into your body. This is the worst type of cross-infection you can get. It's one thing getting someone's blood on your skin or on a cut, but this is actually injecting it into your body. So it's really important when you start this off that you make sure you've got some kind of padding there and you're careful what you're doing. When you're packing wounds like this, it's painful for the person, but this is something that's going to save their life. So what you're going to need to do is to literally push the packing agent in. So we're literally holding it, and we can undo it on the Z-fold, push it straight into the wound, and literally get as much of that WoundClot in there as possible. So you're literally just pushing it into the wound. Once you've done with it all in there, you can just put the surplus over the outside, just literally just hold the pressure onto it. The advantage of WoundClot is you don't have to have a massive amount of direct pressure, but just by holding it in place. And then what we can do on top of that now is put a standard trauma dressing to hold everything in place. The pressure bandage on the outside, the trauma bandage, is going to hold everything in place and also help stop bleeding as well. And then we can get that person to the hospital as soon as we can.